An American woman travels 6,000 miles to Ouagadougou, demanding to become Ibrahim Traoré's second wife. And she refuses to leave until he says yes. The sun was scorching over Ouagadougou, as President Ibrahim Traoré left the presidential palace surrounded by his security service. Flashes crackled and journalists shouted at their questions. But Traoré's attention was fixed on one person. The remarkable woman who stood at the gates of the palace. She was tall, with smooth ebony skin and eyes that shone with determination. A crowd had gathered around her, whispering and pointing. In her hand, she held a sign that read, "I have come for you, Ibrahim Traoré, marry me." Traoré's guards tried to push her away, but she refused to budge. "I won't leave until he talks to me," she said firmly, his unmistakable American accent. Traoré motioned to his guards to let her pass. The woman approached him, her chin high. "My name is Maya Taylor," she said, looking him straight in the eye. "I have come from New York to be your second wife." Traoré's jaw dropped, his advisors exchanged nervous glances, the crowd murmured, some laughed, others were shocked. Traoré took a deep breath. "Maya, you can't just come here and demand marriage. Why would you do that?" Maya comes closer, her gaze intense. "I have followed your story, your rise to power, your fight for your people. I know your heart, Ibrahim, and I know mine. You need a strong woman by your side. I am that woman." Before we continue, if you like our dear president, please comment on a prayer and like this video. Traoré shook his head, stunned. "You don't even know me." Maya's eyes filled a little scared with tears, but she didn't back down. "I know enough and I won't leave until you say yes." Traoré looked around at the crowd, then returned to Maya. This woman had just turned her whole world upside down, and this was just the beginning. Inside the presidential palace, the atmosphere was tense. Maya Taylor sat in the living room, sumptuous, her eyes fixed on the large doors. Outside, Traoré was walking 100 steps with his mind boiling. "What is she thinking?" Malik muttered, casting a nervous glance at Traoré. "This woman arrives here and demands to be your wife." Traoré rubbed his temples. "It came from America, it's not just a whim." Malik leaned closer. "What if it was just a spy or worse, a distraction sent by our enemies?" Traoré shook his head. "Did you see his eyes? She believes what she says." Taking a deep breath, Traoré entered the room. Maya's eyes lit up, but Traoré kept a stern expression. Maya said, "He's sitting across from her. Why would you do that? Why would you leave everything behind to come here?" Maya took a deep breath. "Do you want the truth?" Traoré nodded. Maya leaned forward, her voice soft but intense. "I watched you rise to power. I saw you stand up to the world, risking everything for your people. You are a man with a heart for justice, a man who fights for what is right, and I fell in love with this man." Traoré's jaw clenched. "You can't love someone you don't know." Maya swallows hard. "I know it sounds crazy, but I was engaged to a man in New York, a powerful businessman. He wanted me to marry him to close a deal, but he was cruel, bossy, the kind of man who uses people and throws them away." Maya's eyes were shining with tears. "I watched a video of you visiting a village where the children had no food. You knelt in the dust and promised them that you would never let them go hungry. You don't care about your costume, your statue, you only care about his children." Traoré's eyes softened. He remembered that day, the children's faces, their cries. Maya continued, her trembling voice. "That's when I knew. That's when I knew I couldn't stay in New York and marry a man I didn't love. I couldn't ignore how I felt about you. So I got on a plane and came here. I know it sounds insane, but I couldn't let you go without trying." Silence fell in the room. Traoré leaned back, his mind boiling. "You realize that my life is not a fairy tale. I fight enemies every day. There are people who want me dead." Maya smiled, her eyes never leaving hers. "So let me fight alongside you." Before Traoré could respond, a guard burst into the room, panting, "Mr. President, there was a security breach. Someone tried to break into Maya Taylor's hotel room. He was looking for it, missing his passport." Traoré's blood ran cold. Someone wanted Maya to leave. But why was Maya's heart pounding as she sat in the palace living room, realizing what had just happened? Someone had tried to break into his hotel room and he was looking for many of them, nor his passport. Traoré entered the room, his expression dark and indecipherable. Malik followed him closely, his jaw clenched. Maya, known as Traoré, her eyes piercing her, "Are you sure you came alone?" Maya nodded, her voice trembling. "Yes, I didn't tell anyone where I was going, not even my parents." Malik walked forward with his arms crossed. "So how does it come about? Which hotel to target? How did he know the number of your chamber?" Maya swallows hard. "I don't know." Traoré's eyes narrowed. "Who was the man you were supposed to marry in New York, the man you fled?" Maya hesitated, looking down at her hands. "His name is Darius Monroe, he's a businessman, he owns a very powerful luxury hotel chain." Malik exchanged a look with Traoré. "Darius Monroe." Traoré's jaw clenched. "The name rings a bell." Maya looked up, her eyes wide. "Why does he have to do with all this?" Traoré turned away with clenched fists. "Darius Monroe is more than just a businessman, he is linked to a global network of arms traffickers. Last month, our intelligence services intercepted a shipment of weapons destined for a rebel group in Burkina Faso. Guess which name was on the manifesto?" Maya's face lost all color. Darius, Malik, nodded, and now, the woman who turned her back on his multi-$1 million affair sits in the presidential palace of the man he hates. Maya shook her head, tears welling up. "I didn't know, I swear I didn't know." Traoré approached his face to within a few centimeters of his. "You tell me that the man who wants to see me dead happens to be your ex-fiancé." Maya's lips trembled. "I left him, Ibrahim. I left everything behind to be here. I didn't know he was involved in all this." Before Traoré could answer, Malik's phone vibrated. He looked at the screen and his eyes widened. "Mr. President, you must see this." He handed the phone to Traoré. A news headline was displayed on the screen. American Maya Taylor, accused of stealing $1 million from her ex-fiancé Darius Monroe, is fleeing to Africa. Maya has the pile. "It's a lie, I didn't steal anything." Malik crossed his arms, glaring at her. "So you came here to marry the president while your ex tells the world that you're a thief?" Maya shook her head frantically. "It's a setup, he's trying to ruin me." Traoré's eyes darkened as he handed the phone back to Malik. "Darius Monroe is chasing you, Maya, and now you're no longer just a desperate woman demanding to be my wife. You are a walking target." Maya's breathing quickened. "What do you mean?" Traoré leaned over, his face cold and inflexible. "I say that if I marry you, I don't just take a wife, I start a war." The palace was quiet, but tension hung heavily in the air. Maya was sitting alone in her room, looking at the news article on her phone. Darius Monroe had portrayed her as a thief, a con man, and a fugitive. The comments were vicious, calling her a fortune hunter, a liar, a desperate woman pursuing a powerful man. A knock echoed in the room. Maya jumped. "It's me," said Traoré's deep voice. Maya opened the door and Traoré entered, his indecipherable expression. "Why didn't you tell me about Darius?" he asked, crossing his arms. Maya's shoulders slumped. "Because I thought that if I could just reach you, I could start at zero again. I didn't know that he would follow me here." Traoré studied it, his eyes cold and calculating. "You have put you and me in the crosshairs of a very dangerous man. Do you realize what you have done?" Maya approaches, her eyes shining. "I have come here for you, Ibrahim. I came here because you are alone, the only man I have ever truly loved, and you are the only one who can protect me from Darius." Traoré's jaw clenched. "Or maybe you came here to use me as a shield." Maya's lips trembled. "Do you think I'm lying?" Before Traoré could answer, Malik burst into the room, his face pale. "Mr. President, we have a problem. Darius Monroe has just arrived in Ouagadougou, he is holding a press conference." Maya's heart collapsed. "What? Why?" Traoré and Malik rushed to the media room. The big screen lit up, showing Darius Monroe standing at a podium, surrounded by international journalists. His expression was calm, smug, victorious. "Good morning," said Darius, adjusting his.
"I am here today to inform the world that my ex-fiancée, Maya Taylor, has not only stolen $1 million from my company, but has now fled to Burkina Faso to manipulate its President Ibrahim Traoré. The crowd whispered, the cameras flashing. Maya Taylor continued. Darius, holding a photo of Maya and Traoré taken earlier that day, uses false declarations of love to infiltrate the palace and gain power. I demand his immediate extradition to the United States to face the charges. Maya's knees bend. He lies, he traps me. Traoré's eyes darken. Why is he doing this? What does Malik's phone want to vibrate? He looks at the screen, his face becoming more serious. Mr. President, says Malik, his voice tense, Darius has just met the Minister of Justice. He offers a bribe of $10 million to have Maya arrested and sent back to the United States. Maya's heart was pounding in her chest. No, he can't do that. Traoré's expression remained stoic, but his eyes were stormy. He has just done so. Maya grabs Traoré's arm, tears streaming down his face. Ibrahim, please, I swear I didn't steal anything. Darius is doing this to punish me for leaving him. You have to believe me. Traoré pulled away, his face hardening. Maya, I want to believe you, but at this moment believing you could cost me my presidency, and I don't know if you're worth this risk. Maya suffocated while Traoré moved away with his stiff and inflexible back. Was the man she loved going to abandon her to the wolf, or was there still a way to prove her innocence and Darius' sinister plan? Maya walked 100 steps into her room, her hands shaking, as she replayed Darius' words in her mind. He had portrayed her as a thief, a swindler, a manipulator. And now the whole country believed him. The news was everywhere. A sudden knock on the door startled her. It was Malik, his face was serious. Maya, you have to come with me. Maya's heart was pounding. Where are you taking me? Malik didn't answer. He led her down the corridor to Traoré's private office. Inside, Traoré stood with his arms crossed, his jaw clenched. Next to him stood a woman in an impeccable suit, her expression icy. Maya, known as Traoré, her voice devoid of emotion. This is Fatima Dio, she is the Minister of Justice. Fatima stepped forward, her eyes cold and calculating. Miss Taylor. According to Burkina Faso law, we have the right to detain you on the basis of the charges that Darius Monroe presented: theft, fraud, international flight to escape prosecution. Maya's eyes widened. What? No. This is all a lie. Fatima holds up a document. Darius provided statements signed by employees of his company, bank statements showing 1 million missing, transfers made on your behalf. Maya's knees are flexing. No, it's not possible. Traoré's eyes remained fixed on her. Did you do it, Maya? Did you steal money from Darius? Maya is furiously combing her head. I haven't stolen anything. Darius is wrongly accusing me. He's doing this because I refused to marry him.
Fatima's lip curled. It's a very convenient story, isn't it? Maya's fists clenched. Don't you understand? Darius is a monster. He controlled me, manipulated me. When I left him, he swore that he would destroy me. Traoré's face was Pierre's, and now he's here. To keep this promise, Fatima's advanced 2 guards behind her. Maya Taylor, you are hereby pantwaning under house arrest until further notice. Maya is suffocating. No, Ibrahim, please, you can't let them do this. Traoré's jaw clenched, but he said nothing. Maya's eyes filled with tears as the guards grabbed her by the arms, dragging her away into her locked room. Maya sat on the floor, her head in her hands. The weight of the world weighed on her. The man she loved had abandoned her. The man she feared was suddenly getting closer. A slight knock echoed at the door. Maya looked up. It was Aka, the head of communications of the palace. She slipped inside, closing the door behind her. I don't have much time, Aka whispered, but believe you. Maya's eyes really widened. Aka nodded. I did some research. The bank account that would have received the stolen money, it is not in your name, it is in the name of a shell company owned by Darius Monroe. Maya's heart leaps. Can you prove it? Ash's face is not darkening yet. Darius covered his tracks well, but I found something else. Before leaving New York, Darius made a large payment to a private investigator, the same man who handled the so-called evidence against you. Maya's mind was racing. If we can find this detective, we can prove that Darius tricked me, and Aka bit his lip. There's just one problem. The detective is in Burkina Faso and he has already met with the Minister of Justice. Maya's heart collapsed. Fatima, Aka nodded. She is not only the Minister of Justice, she is Darius' cousin. Maya's blood ran cold. The walls closed over her and now she was trapped with her enemies who surrounded her from all sides. Maya's mind was spinning. Fatima was Darius' cousin. This meant that the whole court case against her was rigged, but how could she prove it? Aka leaned closer, his eyes intense. I found something else. The private detective, his name is Louis Fay, he stays at the Pearl Hotel, downtown. If we can achieve it, we may be able to make it speak. Maya swallows hard, but how? Am I under house arrest? Achat smiled mischievously, pulling a maid's uniform out of his bag. Now 20 for the mine. Later, Maya escaped from the palace, her hair hidden under a maid's cap and her face hidden behind glasses. Under the lilac of black sun, Aka led them through the crowded streets of Ouagadougou. A pounding heart is madness, Maya muttered. If Traoré finds out that I escaped, he will never forgive me. Aka, keep your eyes on the road. If you don't do that, you'll go to jail for a crime you didn't commit at the hotel, Pearl. Maya and Asha walked over to our hotel to take a name to Louis Fay's room. Aka handed Maya a little recorder. Let him talk. We need a confession. Maya nodded, her hands trembling. She knocked on the door opened and he was there. Louis Fay, a middle-aged man, with greasy hair and receding eyes. Yes. Who are you? Maya straightened up. I'm here to deliver a message from Darius Monroe. Louis's eyes narrowed. Darius, he said nothing about sending someone. Maya entered, forcing a confident smile. Darius was furious. He says you were supposed to make sure that the evidence against Maya Taylor was irrefutable, but now there are questions about bank accounts. Did you falsify them or not? Louis's eyes moved nervously. I did what he paid me for. He told me to create fake bank statements and say that Maya had stolen the money. That's what I did. The pulse of Mr. Whippy, of Maya quickened and the affidavit, the witnesses. Louis rubbed his neck, all paid actors. Darius said he would take care of everything. I just followed the orders. Maya glanced at the recorder. It's okay. But before she could leave, the door opened violently. 2 armed men burst in, Darius' henchmen. There she is, cried one of them. Maya's heart dropped. They grabbed her, pinning her against the wall. You thought you could escape, huh? One of them sneered suddenly. A shot echoed in the room. The thug who was holding Maya collapsed, a pool of blood forming under him. Maya turned around and there he was. Ibrahim Traoré, his fierce face, his smoking weapon. Maya shouted. Traoré, rushing towards her, are you okay? Maya fell into his arms, tears streaming down her face. I got the confession, I got it. Traoré's eyes were blazing. Well, now let's finish back at the palace. Traoré and Maya played the recording in the Great Hall. The ministers listened with Kent. With amazement, Louis's voice that filled the room, confessing Fatima Dio's whole face, turned pale. It's a lie. Traoré stepped forward with his voice as cold as ice. Fatima Dio, you conspired with Darius Monroe to trap Maya Taylor and extort 1 million from the people of Burkina Faso. You're under arrest. Fatima screamed while the guards were taking her away. You're going to regret it, Traoré. Darius will come for you. Later, in Traoré's private quarters, Maya sat next to him, her eyes red with tears. I'm so sorry, she said, her voice trembling. I never wanted to bring this chaos into your life. Traoré gently lifted his chin, his eyes tender. You did not bring chaos, you brought truth, courage and love. Maya's breath, Ibrahim cut off. Do you still believe me? Traoré leaned over, his forehead touching his. I believe you and I believe in us. Their lips met. A asterisk 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 filled with pain, passion and the promise of a new beginning. But while he was kissing, Traoré's phone vibrated with a new message. Unknown number, you may have stopped, Fatima. But I'm not done anytime soon. Ibrahim. Darius, Traoré's jaw clenched. Darius was still there. And he wasn't done. If you like our dear president, please leave a prayer in the comments and like this video.